Hi, good afternoon, board members, Dr. Cruz, district staff. The time is 5:20. This is the 5th day of November, 2025. I call this special meeting of the United Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. May the trustees present please announce their name for the record.
Ruben Gonzalez, present.
Elisa Flores Oliveros, present.
Danielle Martinez, present.
Javier Montemayor, present. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Agenda item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag and pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Public comments, agenda item number 3.
We have no public comments, sir.
Thank you. Agenda item 4, A, conduct board policy GF local level 3 appeal hearing for Victor Vasquez, June 2nd, 2025. Level 3 appeal. Sure. Okay. So is the agreement present? You gonna?
Yes, sir. And he did appoint a representative. I believe Mr. Ismael Rincon is also present, who will serve as his representative. And, okay, great.
Okay. I'm going to read the, kind of the way this is going to go down, so if anybody has any questions, let me finish, and then we can review the questions. So this is a level 3 grievance appeal hearing for Victor Vasquez, a community complaint brought pursuant to board policy GF local, filed on April 28, 2025, and appealed to level 3 on June 2nd, 2025. This hearing is conducted today before the United Independent School District Board of Trustees. My name is Javier Montemayor. I will be presiding over the hearing. May the board members who are present for this hearing state their names for the record.
Rudy Gonzalez.
Elisa Flores Oliveros.
Danielle Martinez.
Javier Montemayor. For the record, I ask the grievant and his representative to please introduce themselves. Thank you. All right. For the record, may the district administration and their representative in attendance for this hearing please introduce themselves.
Dr. Gerardo Cruz, Superintendent.
And this is Jaime Garcia, General Counsel, and we also have Mr. Pete Morales from General Counsel's office, who will serve as a representative for the administration.
And Ida Benavides is here, she serves as level 2 hearing officer.
Thank you. All right, the board, district administration, and the grievant have been provided with an approximately 91-page local record. The grievance is being conducted in accordance with board policy, GF local, the district's policy governing community complaints. The board will impartially listen to a presentation from both the grievant and the administration. The procedure for this hearing is as follows. Only one person may speak at a time. All participants shall conduct themselves with courtesy and respect for others. The grievant will present first, followed by district administration. Each party will be afforded 15 minutes to present their case. However, additional time may be granted at my discretion. If additional time is granted, the grievant, the administration, will be allotted an equal amount of time. Board members may not be questioned by either party. And following both presentations, the board may ask clarifying questions before deliberating in closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code sections 551.071. Before we begin, does either side have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Grievant, you may proceed. Mr. Vasquez, go ahead.
Okay, here's the detailed analysis about the letter titled Second Warning Regarding Disruptive Behavior issued by United ISD on the April 22nd by Gerardo Cruz. Yeah, I want you guys to keep tracking the dates so you understand the process, okay? So the event occurred on March 26th in the UID football field in the SAC, right? And it caused the jab. So kind of weird that the event was later reclassified by the district as no public event. If you look the legal term about no public events, you will see what I'm talking about. However, photos and witnesses statement clearly show that parents and family members were present taking pictures both inside the event and outside the event on the football field. This means the event was open to the public, right? Technically it was open to the public. honor was inside the event. So the available evidence strongly suggests the superintendent, Dr. Gerardo Cruz, executive director, special education, Laura de los Santos, and associate superintendent, Rebecca Cos Morales, worked together to create and justify the April 22nd, 2025 warning letter. So it's kind of weird. The event happened on March 26th, but on April 3rd, Medina Soriano sent an email describing the March 26th event, even admitting that I was respectful and calm. The email was forwarded to Los Santos, but no incident report investigation was open at that time. On April 14, 2025, De Los Santos emailed Morales, and hereby the email right here. I'm gonna read it. It says, please review the attached statement submitted to me by one of my clerks. She described the incident while she was assisting at the entrance of the job activity at the SAC. She was approached by Victor Vasquez. She brought this concern to me and to Mr. Gutierrez. I asked her to submit a statement. And the weird thing about it, she asking Morales, please guide me as to what else I need to do. Please guide me as to what else I need to do. The thing about this email, it doesn't have to reapply for Morales. It was cut in half right here, just omitted just one part, right? All of us have to print out emails in the past, you know how it comes out, right? Somebody send me emails or somebody reapply. So it's missing to reapply this email. It showed that Administrator Webb coordinated their action to pursue discipline, not conducted an independent or fair review. So on April 17, Ms. De Los Santos, under her supervision, asked Joseph Lopez to submit a statement. Right here, the statement of Mr. Lopez. Right here. So kind of weird, the statement said he appeared to have a recording device on his chest, similar to this one I have here on the table. On the chest, I don't know if he was on because he was a distant away from us. Basically about the distance from me and Ms. Martinez, that's the distance he was talking about. In his statement, directly disapproved Soriano's assumption that I was recording despite this clear evidence. The administration went ahead and issued a warning letter anyway. Predetermined intent on April 22nd warning letter mirrors Ms. Soriano emailed almost exactly repeated emotion and unverified phrases such as uncomfortable and unsafe. This showed the district relied on the subjective opinion instead of investigation, providing that the letter was planned in advance rather than based on the facts, right? It was more suggestive than objective. Why retaliation? All the administrators were fully aware of my public advocacy and ongoing appearances through Parents United. Their coordinated action appeared to be intentional attempt to retaliate, intimidate, and silent taxpayer exercise his lawful right to question and oversee the digital operation. So, when you sit and read the statement, you're talking about Ms. Soriano and Mr. Lopez. Soriano versus Lopez, right? She says, I noticed his mic and a phone out recording. And then she said, after that she said, I'm assuming recording. Yes, here's the mic, the tripod, and Mr. Lopez said he appeared to have a device in his chest. I don't know if it was on. He was talking to the camera, I had in my chest. Both witnesses admitted they didn't know recording occurred. They don't know that it occurred or not. She said he was respectful and calm, but she was uncomfortable. I don't know that word.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
And Lopez said he was in a distance away from us. And Ms. Solano said the event was full of children and family. And Lopez said he described it checking braces, a large crowd and parents. As soon as I was in the beginning, because I got there around 10 10:45. He said 10:30, but it was about 10:45 because I think it was over by 11. Board knowledge it was a public event. Will you check what Dr. Cruz wrote? He say in his letter, you have a microphone, you have a phone and a microphone out while you question the district employee. This unauthorized recording took place district property during district business hours and an event that was not open to the public. So basically, both witnesses, they basically originate the warning letter, contradict both witnesses' statement, because Soriano admitted, I'm assuming he recording, and Lopez said, I don't know, it was on. There's no evidence that recording occurred. No evidence, basically. Dr. Cruz said at the event, that was no open to the public. But both witnesses, right, Soriano and Lopez, describe an event full of children and family. The JAB program is a community event, therefore policy of no public events. Clause does not apply. Basically, the JK doesn't talk about no public events. Dr. Cruz, your conduct made the district employee feel uncomfortable, unease, and most important, unsafe. Subjective claim, right? I guess the motion was his name, Soriano was saying, not the policy violation. It's not a policy violation because it had to be objective misconduct, not feelings. The witness admitted, she admitted I was respectful and calm when I was talking to her, right? Dr. Cruz, your constant question of this district employee impeded the employee from focusing their attention to their job duties, safety of their many students and parents and attendees at the event. So contradict the evidence that Soriano documented, it was about 5 questions. It not constantly questioning. Lopez confirmed I was at the distance. There was no interference of safety. I asked 3 questions when I got there, and then she approached me and asked 2 more questions. That's it. That was the whole event. So it's kind of weird that everybody, when it was done, everybody's taking pictures outside. We know how the SAC is located, right? We know we got a lawsuit, or you guys have a lawsuit, or in court because thousands of cars drive through the SAC. So I never went inside the SAC. I went inside the football field. I was outside like everybody else, right? Because I don't have a place to get in. I asked simple questions, and that's it. I think right now the district has a mentality that just my presence in some location make people feel uncomfortable, harassed, unsafe. I don't know why, but that's the way the district is going. So that's what I'm challenging, that this warning letter, because it's not based on fact. It's based on assumption, emotion, and basically. Both witnesses say they don't know I was recording or not. So if you look at the time frame, on the 26th, the event, on the 3rd, Laura Santos asked for the email from Soriano. On the 14th, she sent an email to Mrs. Morales. On the 17th, Lopez submitted another statement, and I got the letter sometime after. Well, it was dated the 22nd. I think I got a couple of days later, on the 22nd of April. Almost a month, we keep calling like that. So that's my point. I don't know how much time you left. If I have any, I'm gonna save it, I guess.
You have 4 minutes and 55
So
seconds.
I think I'm gonna save those 4 minutes.
Okay, administration?
Good evening, members of the board. I'm here to present the district's administrative response to the level 3 grievance filed by Mr. Vasquez against Superintendent Cruz. This grievance was processed under board policy FMG local and is now before the board following the issuance of a level 2 decision dated May 28th, 2025 by Ms. Laida Benavides. Mr. Vasquez's grievance originated from a warning letter, as discussed, that was issued by Dr. Cruz on April 22nd, 2025, following an incident at the March 26th, 2025 YAPS event at the UISD Student Activity Center. Mr. Vasquez alleged that the warning letter violated his constitutional rights, misapplied district policy, and constituted retaliation for protected activity. For clarity, the event at issue is YAPS, that stands for the Young Athletes Program for Students. YAPS is a UISD invitation-only program for students. It is held on secured district property during business hours and is not open to the general public, which is why the recording restrictions applied under GKA local in this matter. Because the grievance was filed against the superintendent, it began at level 2 so that a record could be established by the designated hearing officer. A level 2 hearing was held on May 8th, and Mr. Vasquez appeared and confirmed that his written complaint contained his full presentation. The level 2 hearing officer, Ms. Benavides, reviewed all the evidence carefully and issued a detailed level 2 decision denying all the requested remedies. The level 2 decision is in your packets on page 49. The district stands by the decision and denies that any legal or constitutional violations occurred. The warning letter issued by Dr. Cruz was a lawful and appropriate administrative warning. It was not a disciplinary sanction. It was not an exclusion order. It was not a punishment. It was issued in response to documented behavior that created unease and concern among district staff during a school-sponsored event attended by children and families. At the YAPS event, Mr. Vasquez was observed holding a recording device and questioning a district employee about entrance access and law enforcement presence. The employee reported feeling uneasy, uncomfortable, and unsafe as a result of this interaction and the questions that Mr. Vasquez was asking. Her statement is on page 5 of your local record, in which she said, "He made me feel very uneasy and unsafe, given that I didn't know his intention, and it is an event full of children and families." The employee stated that Mr. Vasquez asked her whose police unit was parked at the entrance, adding to her uneasiness in that situation. Those feelings were not unreasonable given the circumstances, particularly because the event was not open to the public, and it was hosted during business hours and conducted on secured district property. Only the parents and the involved students were invited to attend. Superintendent Cruz acted within his authority under Texas Education Code Section 37.105 and under Board Policy GKA Local, which expressly permit the district to restrict unauthorized recordings and to take reasonable measures to protect staff and students from disruptive conduct. The letter merely placed Mr. Vasquez on notice that future disruptive behavior could result in limited access, but it did not bar him from district property or deprive him of any rights. To be clear, it would be completely unreasonable to conclude that a Texas school district cannot place a third party on notice that continued disruptive behavior on school district property may lead to consequences as permitted by state law. There was no due process violation because the letter imposed no exclusion or sanction. Due process protections apply when a life, liberty, or property interest is at stake, and none of those interests existed here. Dr. Cruz acted under proper authority pursuant to the law, and the statute allows school officials to issue warnings or deny access to individuals whose conduct is disruptive or threatening. A warning letter is simply a preventive measure, not an exclusion. Board Policy GKA Local allows the district to prohibit recordings on district property during business hours to protect student privacy and operational security. In this matter, the superintendent correctly applied GKA Local because the YAPS event was not open to the public. And importantly, Dr. Cruz's actions were motivated by real documented employee safety concerns. The district has an obligation under law and policy to maintain a safe working environment for its employees, to take reasonable steps to prevent harassment and to prevent intimidation on its campuses and its facilities. These district employees are human beings with feelings and emotions. It is not unreasonable to feel scared if an unknown person is asking how to gain entry onto district property, while the person is asking at the same time about active police presence. Accordingly, the April 22nd letter to Mr. Vasquez served as a measured good faith effort to document prior interactions, provide clear expectations for future conduct, and avoid escalation. It was a warning, not a restriction, and its issuance was guided by the district's duty to protect students, staff, and operations. At level 2, Mr. Vasquez sought several remedies, including withdrawal of the letter, a cease and desist order against alleged retaliation, a formal due process hearing, a referral of Dr. Cruz to SBEC, and a public apology. Each of these requests was properly denied. The lawful warning letter was supported by credible employee statements and issued under lawful authority. There is no evidence of retaliation, no deprivation of due process, and no basis for disciplinary referral or an apology. In summary, the grievance process, which includes today's presentation to this governing body, has afforded Mr. Vasquez a full opportunity to be heard. His rights have been fully preserved at every level, and just because he agrees with the level 2 decision, it does not render the decision invalid. The district remains committed to safety and respectful engagement with all members of the public. but it cannot disregard conduct that causes staff members to feel unsafe or impede district operations. In response to his claim that it was a public event, I would like to clarify that it was an invitation-only event. And we're not here because of his photography, we're here because he made a district employee feel unsafe. It's that simple, and that is a lawful reason to issue a warning. It was just a warning. This matter did not require any further investigation. It was only a warning, and none of Mr. Vasquez's rights were taken away. For these reasons, I ask on the administration's behalf that you uphold the level 2 decision in its entirety and deny the requested remedies. Thank you for your attention.
Does the board have any questions of either the grievant or the, no, sir, we don't have rebuttals, not part of the process. I'll give you a minute if you want to respond,
Okay, yes.
but you're not going to get the full 4 minutes you won't get.
No, it's okay, minutes. I was gonna say one thing, just read the statements and what he wrote on the letter, doesn't even make sense.
Okay, I've read them. Any response to his response?
No response.
No response.
Okay. Does any of the board members have any questions for Mr. Vasquez or the administration?
No, I don't.
For the record, Michelle Molina is also present.
Present, yeah, I reviewed the full packet already.
No questions on mine.
No questions at this point.
All
I
right.
have a question. Was law enforcement or security involved with all of this? Were they called?
No, I believe they
when all
were
this
not, they were not called. No, but there was a security and police presence at the event.
Okay. And were there statements that were asked for from other parties, or it was just?
No,
The
just
statement.
from these two individuals who witnessed and saw Mr. Vasquez there at the event.
Okay. And so what is classified as disruptive behavior? Because it does say here in the letter that it was disruptive. Would it be like him going to the employee, or?
Talking to the employee, distracting the employee from their job duties, and making sure that the door is properly secured, and of course, the invited individuals with the appropriate bracelets are able to get in.
Okay.
I have a question. Are you done?
Yes,
Go ahead. Mr. Vasquez, you indicated that you felt this was retaliation.
Yes.
Why do you feel it's retaliation?
Apparently, just my presence made people uncomfortable.
That's
Like-
subjective or objective?
Mine, that's all subjective.
subjective?
It's my personal opinion,
Okay,
yes.
so-
It's not objective, it's just.
Okay, so you filed a grievance because subjectively you felt that your
No, no, no.
presence makes people feel uncomfortable?
I filed the agreement because the lies, because
Okay.
what I said there, I didn't do.
So if an employee says that she feels uncomfortable, would that be subjective or objective?
Suggestive.
So, okay. So pretty much on the same level as what you
Yes.
felt? Okay. And why do you feel that your presence makes people feel uncomfortable? Why do you subjectively feel that way?
I don't know, because like every time I go to a place now, I'm hearing that in my past warning letter, I met people I never met before claim I was harassing her. It was just a question.
So people.
I asked one question, it was harassing.
Okay. So people, I guess, in your past have made subjective
No, that's in
comments?
the first letter they sent me.
Okay. Is that the first time you hear
The
this?
first warning letter I
Okay. But you haven't been limited as far as
got. No,
your
no.
camera use. In fact, I've seen you at the board meetings at the SAC. I've seen you here using your camera freely. You haven't been limited in any shape or form?
No, negative.
Okay.
And that day, were you recording?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I never had my phone connected to the mic. That's what I'm saying. One say I have the mic, the other one say I have what is it, the body camera. So they both, they don't know get the story straight.
And so, in regards to Mr. Ross's comment about the email, right, that it says that it's missing, was there a reply back from anybody, or?
I believe there was a reply covered by the attorney-client privilege. We can talk about that in deliberation.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
But that is why it
It's
has a
blanked
big
out.
gap. Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Because we,
It's
at that point,
redacted
It's
for confidentiality.
yes,
reasons.
ma'am, redacted under the attorney-client privilege, which only the board can waive. So
Okay.
that's probably why the gap is there. If I had to guess, because I yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Vasquez. And administration on this one, we're going to move to the second grievance. with Mr. Perez. So at this time, the board will hear the second grievance. Following that presentation, the board will consider this grievance, both grievances, and deliberate in closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. This is a Level 3 grievance appeal hearing for Victor Vasquez, a community complaint brought pursuant to Board Policy GF Local. Mr. Perez, I think if you want to move closer so you can kind of participate here. This grievance was filed against the superintendent and Mr. David Perez on July 28, 2025, and appealed to Level 3 on September 2nd, 2025. This hearing is conducted today before the United Independent School District Board of Trustees. My name is Javier Montemayor, and I will be presiding over this hearing. May the board members present for this hearing please state their names for the record.
Rudy Gonzalez.
Michelle Molina.
Teresa Flores Oliveros.
Danielle Martinez.
Javier Montemayor. For the record, I ask the grievant and his representatives to introduce themselves for the record.
Victor Vasquez.
District Administration.
Gerardo Cruz, Superintendent.
UISD Board Counsel Jaime Garcia is present. Pedro Morales from our office will be presenting the administrative response, and I believe also Mr. David Perez, who is one of the respondents, is here on his own behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. Okay. So Board Policy GF Local allows the district to consolidate these complaints arising from related events or seeking similar remedies into one proceeding. Since both grievances stem from the same facts and circumstances because they involve the same remedies, the district consolidated the grievances at Level 2 in accordance with Board Policy GF Local. The board, the district administration, and the grievant have been provided with an approximately 86-page local record. The grievance is being conducted in accordance with Board Policy GF Local, the district's policy governing employee complaints. The board will impartially listen to a presentation from both the grievant and administration. This procedure is as follows. Only one person may speak at a time. All participants shall conduct themselves with courtesy and respect for others. The grievant will present first, followed by district administration. Each party will be afforded 15 minutes to present their case. However, additional time may be granted at my discretion. If additional time is granted to the grievant, the district administration will be allotted the equal time. Board members may not be questioned by either party. Following both presentations, the board will ask or can ask clarifying questions before deliberating closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code Section 551.071. Mr. Vasquez, are you clear with that? Any questions?
No.
District administration, any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Vasquez, go ahead.
So let's go back in history, right? December 16, 2021, it was an agenda action item approved of addressing public comments not to be limited to current agenda items, and it was sponsored by Mr. Feliz, Ms. Alisa Olivero, and Mr. Javier Montemayor. So going back in those days, Alisa sponsored the item, say we are safe in place. It is people's rights. A taxpayer has the right to come in here and disagree with us, right? All this is from the transcript from that meeting. They have the right to come here and tell us they don't like us or want to replace us. There's the right. They do not, however, have the right to respect us. But being said, we cannot censor anyone. You, Mr. Montemayor, say, I'm about transparency, everything on the top of the table. We are a government entity. We represent taxpayer. Whether it's not an agenda, what is in our agenda or not is open to it's open government. Former trustee Frank Castillo say, no one stopping anyone from making comments is their right, but never let it be said that we will tolerate personal attack. We will tolerate personal attack. Ricardo Molina, he said, we are here to censor attack, not censor people on the comments. We are here to respect everybody. So that motion was by Olivero, second by Mr. Rodriguez, and it was carried unanimously, right? So it was clear the intent was to expand this freedom of speech. I guess you guys can agree with me, right? encourage taxpayer accountability, transparency, the distinction between legitimate criticism and personal insult, and preventing censorship critiques, right? And basically, the DEB local says speaker or other who use insult, profane, threat, abusive language during the board meeting should be ruled out of order by the preceding officer. And also say no electioneering should be permitted in behalf or against an individual running for political office. So guess what? On July 23rd, 2025, during the regular UID board meeting, David Perez, he introduced himself as a 26-year employee for UID, a president of the United Classroom Teacher Association, CTA, and took the podium and made some comments. And basically, he didn't mention my name, it's true. He didn't mention Parents United, it's true. But he gave a lot of details so everybody there can figure out who he's talking about. It was a lot of details. He didn't mention Pam Myers by her name. He didn't mention Mr. Ismael Rincon by his name. But anyway, it was what had to do something that happened outside the district be brought inside the district, right? That's what he was doing. So Perez State is certain advocate groups, right? Most critical of the U.S. administration refers to us, Parents United, and 2 members have been banned. Like I say, very specific who they were banned. Everybody knew what he was talking about. So, and before he calls me names, before he called hypocrite, we were present. Well, there was Veliz, Mrs. Olivero, Mr. Montemayor, and Mr. Gonzalez, and Garcia. We were present that day in the board, including the superintendent. He turns around and he waves at me. That's on video. You guys were there. You guys are witness. So he was mocking me, right? He went like this, and then he called me hypocrite, like I was hypocrite. And now, it's kind of weird that when I see his statement, it looked like my allegations, they took my allegation until here. That's what Victor Vasquez wrote about that day, answered it. So basically, when I'm looking at his statement, he basically, everything that I said, he's answering. I don't know if that's common practice, or he's supposed to talk about a specific what happened that day, whether based on his knowledge, because when I'm reading his statements, I noticed it that he doesn't mention 26 years as UID employee. He left that out. Kind of weird, no? So the thing is, why he changed his mind now? And now he tried to hide behind that he never said it. I went to the board, I never said I was a border patrol, and I got sent 2 letters to my job. In this case, Myers was taking the video, and Trotman called attention to the board that somebody was taking a video, and he's the one, right? Trotman, the one who put the board out of order, out of order, and we know how that went, right? So why, when it happened to a civilian like me, another taxpayer sitting there, the guy comes up, bringing attention, something going on. He was going good what he was saying until he started the personal attack. So now basically he never said he was a district employee. I think one of the questions that implied Mr. Garza, what's his name? Mike Garza told him like, oh, by the way, you were out of the contract. That's what he said. So basically, I think he helped him out to say like, I was out of the contract. I was not working for USD. But he said 26 years as a UID employee. I never said that. In the Border Patrol, we only Border Patrol as we work. After we're not working, our days off, we're not a Border Patrol agent. We're not be catching people in our days off and going to, So we only Border Patrol when we work. But I got sent 2 letters to my job. And I got a warning letter, well, now 2 warning letters, and this guy didn't get anything. So there's always scandals in the board. So that's what the reason I filed a grievance against him as superintendent, because this was there. He never brought the attention. He's supposed to enforce the policies And he didn't do anything. Besides, Mr. Garcia didn't do anything either. Let it finish, not even the board correcting him and say you out of order or say something, or send him a letter. But nothing happened to him. So I think the board trustee, Lisa, and Mr. Dr. Cruz have double standard when it comes to people.
Myself, I'm sorry, did you say me?
No.
Oh.
Mr. Chair.
When it comes to him.
I said,
I did say me.
You- oh.
I said Dr. Cruz. So that's the reason I'm sitting here today. I'm reading his statement. His statement is all just like, I don't want to say the word itself. But it looked like he backed off big time. And basically, he's just gonna say, just apologize for it, that's it. But I guess it's not, it's too pride. He made a mistake. And now he's just trying to play back that he never said, he not represented the district when he said it. He never say, actually, he never say like, breakable, I'm here today as a taxpayer. He never say that. He just say, his title, making him feel like he's above his ego. And I actually say, by the time I'm talking as a taxpayer, or as a parent that he claimed down on his statement and it claims on the response on the grievance.
Okay,
So, I'm done?
good.
You still has 6 minutes.
You sure you,
Yeah.
any, well, let me do it this way. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Vasquez first? On this complaint? I'm not clear, what is it that you're asking the board to do with regards to your claim against Mr. Pettis?
I'm asking, the superintendent took action, right?
What is it that you think he
Is
said that was an
Remember, you
attack
were
on
there
you?
too, Mr.
Well, I'm asking you.
Oh, he said, he turns around when he was speaking, he mocked at me, went like this, in front of everybody, it's on video, and he also called me hypocrite.
But what is it that you're seeking? Like, I know right now in your
I
statement,
really-
you mentioned
Well, I
that
get-
you've gotten two warning letters,
Yes.
right? And that you got 2 warning letters
Yes.
to your job place, right? And
Yes.
you're mentioning that there's a double standard.
Exactly.
So I think what Mr. Montemayor is trying to ask you is, what is it that you're seeking?
What's your remedy?
At least he should get a warning letter too.
Okay. You say you were publicly defamed. When you say you were publicly defamed, your image was ruined?
Of course, because he was
You
saying.
you lost, followers on Parents United? What are the damages that you're telling me that you were
Well,
defamed?
let me see, I wrote it. Basically, he said, he tried basically to silence me, to discredit me and continue to exercise his rights when he kept talking about,
I'm reading it here, I was publicly defamed.
Yeah.
That's the first part.
yes,
And then and politically targeted.
exactly.
Why-
He used to follow Parents United,
Okay.
and he know I'm running for the board. So he
Okay.
know my intentions, so he
That's
mentioned
subjective.
that in the board, yes, it's suggested, yeah, but he
Okay.
mentioned that in the board, in the board that day.
I have a
But he had knowledge,
Well,
because he
yeah.
knows,
Okay, so you're running for the board.
yes.
And you were politically targeted. Did he say something about you? I don't remember
Well, he-
that,
he
and I gotta go
said-
back and read the audio transcript on this, but what did he say about
He
you that
said-
politically targeted you?
He specifically say it's a year from now
Okay.
for the election date.
Okay,
That's what he said. Basically, something will happen from now until the election. It was a long way to go.
okay.
As a federal employee,
Yes.
do you feel like your code of conduct is held to a higher standard than civilians?
Yes.
Okay. And you've been there to many meetings, sir. Other UISD employees have gone to the podium. They have harshly criticized us.
Yes.
In my opinion, wrongly criticized us. So why didn't you come before us and ask us to reprimand them? They were disorderly as UISD employees in public comment, and they were not on summer break.
I like to.
Why is he different from the other employees?
Him? I no other employee criticized me at all. Remember, the
But
board
you're-
policy established no personal attack.
I agree.
Okay.
But you're saying there's like a code of conduct or something.
No, I'm
It would
asking.
apply to
I'm
you
asking-
and everyone.
Exactly, so when I do stuff, when I claim I did stuff, I get a warning letter. I I got twice letters sent to my job, not one, twice. He criticized me on the board, nobody say anything, he walks away, I file the grievance, and they try to clear him out, like saying that he was not on the contract, saying that he was, and he claimed he never said, basically, he didn't spoke as a USD employee.
Do we
But-
normally interrupt people when they're at the podium?
No, they should let them finish.
So we weren't
Depending
gonna
correct
stop
people
him.
when
He
they
has
say
a
they run
right,
for
just
the
like
board.
anyone else, to come up and speak.
But isn't it true, though, like I said, I'm going back,
Yes,
isn't, he called you a hypocrite
yes.
because of because I believe, from what I remember, you blocked him from participating in your Parents United page. It's got nothing to do with the board, had nothing to do with, had nothing to do with the district, had nothing to do with his activities or his conduct as an employee. He may have said, if I remember correctly, that you violated his constitutional rights to free speech because you blocked him from participating in your Parents United page. And I'm assuming that you've made comments in the past about free speech, and like you've done here in your complaints, and because now you blocked him, that you're a hypocrite. Am I correct?
So-
That's in general what,
That's what he said, basically that's what he
Okay,
said.
so-
But I have a question.
well,
So-
you don't question
No,
the
no,
board,
no,
but.
no, okay, but let me see my comments.
Okay, say your comment.
So, if we open this door, that's mean, and it's time people can go down to the board meeting, talk about the weather, how that they went to the job, they were doing at the board meeting besides, because supposedly, when I read about what happened when you opened for not putting stuff in agenda, everybody was there, understand, it was
Yeah.
something related to the district,
Yeah.
not outside the district.
So-
It's tantamount to the lady who got up here last Friday or 2 Fridays ago and said that the elections were coming and that that we're all, should be removed. And I think you posted on your page as
Yeah.
well. And so but, those are comments that the public makes, that the board has no control over that. And I don't know, and I guess we have to deliberate, but I guess it has to rise to the level of a political attack, is what you're asking the board to make that finding for you, right?
Probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm asking that, is that what you want us to
Well,
do?
I'm asking to do what is properly due to everybody. You send letters, send them a letter.
Well, give us what your resolution to this case is. What is what do you think, how is this gonna get resolved in your mind?
What I'm thinking is that a double standard, right? For less,
Okay.
I got letters. For less,
Well, I know what the problem is, but tell us how you want it resolved.
Well, you want to apologize, Mr.
No, over here, Mr. Vasquez, just tell
What I'm
me.
asking was,
You want a letter to
I don't want to
him?
make this a big deal, but I'm saying like, if he apologized, well, we take it. We die right here. But
Wait,
now,
President, I have a
District money is
question.
kind
Sorry.
of making it a big deal. We're
Yes.
paying our attorney,
Oh, of course.
You criticize us for
Yes.
paying our attorneys too much money, yet you've given them the most business in this community. Even right now, today, we're paying
one,
two attorneys for being here and for all the work that went into this report. You gave them a paycheck, sir.
Yeah, but the employee, the one who initiated, both of them, not
Okay.
me.
So
I think
let me
we've
just
got-
ask, I have a question for legal. Legal, the statement that he made from December 2021, right? Can you explain on that? Do you have that?
I don't have the specific revision, but I can read from the local packet exactly what BED local states now, and as it was in application during that day, which is just simply at regular board meetings and board workshops, the board shall permit public comment regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice in the meeting.
Okay, so it would be safe to say that Mr. Perez could give that public
Mr.
comment?
Perez or any other attendee at a regular board meeting, based on the black letter of the BED local policy, would be able to give comment regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice.
As long as it's not
Okay.
vulgar. or
And
slanderous.
there's separate provisions here, one regarding electioneering, and again, this is just a response to your question, not
It's on your,
advocating
it's
for
on your
either
public
side.
comment
Yeah.
agenda.
But the electioneering provision, and it is on page 81 of your packets, is from BED local, no electioneering shall be permitted on behalf of or against an individual running for political office, and no literature pertaining to any form of electioneering shall be permitted during the meeting. And then regarding profanity or disruption, the board shall not tolerate disruption of the meeting by members of the audience. Speakers or others who use insulting, profane, threatening, or abusive language during any board meeting shall be ruled out of order by the presiding officer. And then it goes on to explain the warning process.
And so what would be considered as electioneering, just for the record? What Mr. Perez said, would that be considered electioneering?
Well, and can I add to that? Because nobody's filed to run yet. We're still a year away from filing for candidacy. So anyone today can say, I'm running. I could say I'm running today, and then maybe I don't run.
Mr.
So
Vasquez.
how could we say this is political when nobody's even filed? My position's not even up yet. I'm still in my position.
Well, let me ask, let me get to the
I'm
question. I
just
think
asking So
we-
it could
I think-
be on the record, in case this is asked, right?
Sure.
Just so we can know what is considered electioneering. I know Mr. Perez did say there's a lot of time between now and the elections of next year.
Correct.
Would that be considered
In
electioneering?
my legal opinion, no, it would not. be
Okay, and
considered.
can, when
That's what-
somebody
okay.
comes up and says, elections are coming up, you all should all be removed.
Yeah.
Is that
that
considered
electioneering?
electioneering?
I mean, if it's, if
Well,
it
if his
is,
statement is, then that statement is too.
Then yes, it applies. We don't have double standards, so it's gonna apply.
you could
it's gonna
argue that
apply.
it is electionary because it
It's
is
electioneering. We should not
against
allow that.
an individual running.
All right,
Okay.
let me, I think Ms. Molina has a question.
Mr.
No, go ahead.
You had a question first, go ahead.
No, I'm good. He answered.
Okay.
He answered.
So, Mr. Vasquez, I'm finding it very, very difficult here because we talk about assumptions, we're talking about feelings, we're talking about how that made you feel, how you feel that was against you. There's other candidates out there, there's other people that have said they want to run for office, but again, no one has filed. There's a lot of people that have said something, but we're looking at the facts, black and white, we're looking at exactly what transpired. The reality is that even our employees are subject to their First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, to all of it. At any given time, give me 1 second, do not talk over me. Now, at this point, there's no mention of Parent United. At this point, there's no mention of an individual name. You're just assuming you.
Excuse me.
He could have been talking about anyone else. And that is a fact. And you're basing this grievance off of a feeling. That's a reality. Those are my comments.
And we haven't, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Did I answer
We
you
haven't
yet?
heard from Mr. Perez yet.
No.
But I'm gonna go with Mr. Montemayor's, again, we're assuming because he
Yeah.
hasn't spoken yet. His assumption that he went up there because of something you did to him outside of United,
That's what I remember.
you silenced him on your transparency page, and then he got upset, and now he came and said, that wasn't right, and you got upset, and now we're here.
And the
That's what I'm
reality is,
thinking.
I don't even know about
You
that
have,
situation.
you have somebody employed at UID, they identify himself, 26 years working for UID, criticizing a taxpayer. That's it.
Okay,
Criticizing a
that's
taxpayer.
what you're,
That's
that's
it.
what you're.
Criticizing a
you're-
taxpayer or your platform?
Your platform.
Both, I'm a taxpayer in the platform
Well,
too.
But
the
but
platform
that,
is
it was never
different, though.
mentioned.
I'm both.
The
You can't
reality is that it
claim
was never
coverage,
mentioned.
coverage as an individual and then coverage as a
No.
journalist,
Well, he
journalist.
called me hypocrite, not he called the platform.
Well-
He called me hypocrite.
Well, who shut him out? Did you shut him out or did your platform shut him out?
Again?
Did your Parents
That's nothing have to
United?
do with the case.
Well, that's what he's asked. I think that's the complaint, Mr.
But-
Vasquez. I mean, I'm trying to narrow it down. I've asked you several different ways.
Okay.
What is it what relief is that you want? You said you want a letter. I said, okay,
You got an employee that criticized,
you?
citizen,
Okay,
right? A citizen.
all right. That's what,
No matter the
that's what
parent, no
you're,
matter the taxpayer,
Okay. Fair
And
enough.
at the board meeting, and nothing was done.
But,
Fair
but
enough.
but
Out of
again,
order, he finished his statements, and not even a letter he gets.
So
but again, it's
let's
a
just-
feeling because it's black and white, and what was recorded, a name of a person, a name of an organization, a candidate, advocacy group, nothing was mentioned. That's a reality. I mean, we're basing this off of a feeling.
We might have to play the video so you can see when he turns around and waves.
So let's just
How much,
Maybe he's waving
Okay.
at your
let's
audience.
Well, let
just
me-
say,
I
Mr.
don't
Vasquez,
think,
if,
I don't think we've
if,
ever interrupted anybody when they have their 3 minutes.
yeah,
I-
so-
Unless it's vulgar language, I'm pretty sure someone would say
Just for
something.
clarification, I have interrupted if there is like blatant electioneering
Let me do this.
in the past, but I believe I interrupted on one individual because he or she stated that that they were running for the board and to please vote for them.
Okay,
So
that
And-
We see there's an
That's
example.
election.
But I believe that person was still allowed to complete their comments and then cease.
But before we get too further, District, you need to give me your response. And
I
then,
just
and then
have
Mr.
one
Pettis.
question.
Let me just get them, then y'all can ask all the questions and
Okay.
we can deliberate. Go ahead, Pete.
Mr. Pettis and I are gonna share the 15 minutes and he's gonna go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, members of the board, administration, members of the audience. My name is David Bettis. I am a 26-year employee of United ISD. I am president of the United Classroom Teachers Association. I am a parent, I am a taxpayer, and I am a citizen. But I ask you, why am I here? Grievances are against employees. I spoke at that meeting not as an employee, and I made it very clear that I was speaking as a citizen. This shouldn't even be happening, but we're here. Okay? I did and you have my statement from the level 2, which I think was very complete and detailed. But from the level 2 decision, I would like to raise some points. The complaint says that I abused my position as a teacher in my remarks in their documentation. They conveniently left out that my remarks were made as a private citizen taxpayer. Please see page 7 of your packet. Their characterization of how I identified myself is an error and patently false. You board members were there and witnessed my introduction. You may also refer to the video of the meeting. This false and misleading accusation reflects negatively on their credibility in this whole grievance. It also undercuts their contention of abuse of my position as a teacher. Also, my position as a teacher or UISD employee absolutely does not preclude my First Amendment right to address the board about any concerns or statements. Many teachers and employees, as was discussed, have addressed the board in their capacities as UISD personnel without any problems. The complainant is very well aware of this, again calling into question their motives. Number 2, the complainant is in error that I was specific in my remarks on page 15 of your packet. I challenge anyone to find in my remarks a specific reference to any person or group. You will not find anything anywhere. Again, a false accusation calling into question their motives and their credibility. It is most disturbing that the complainant has a lack of knowledge of board policy regarding the subject matter at board meetings and workshops. This is another attempt to censor me and deny my First Amendment rights. They are well aware of what topics can be discussed. However, they falsely contend the remarks were off topic and not on the agenda, page 4. They were reminded of the policy on page 31 of the packet by the hearing officer. I am also concerned with their lack of knowledge as to who presides over the board meetings and alleging that the superintendent is the presiding officer, which they are not, pages 48 and 49. I am deeply offended that the complainant identifies me as an Algebra 2 teacher, page 49 for the record. I am a CTE teacher in business. I've had a previous 20-year career in banking. I am very familiar with organizations, with organizational charts, and the role of the CEO and the board. Right here. The superintendent, the CEO, does not tell the board what to do. The board is over the the CEO and the superintendent, however you want to classify it. I am deeply offended. On page 49, the complainant cites a non-existent administrative code. I'm not sure of the motivation for this, probably AI. Again, the complainant alleges that I accepted gifts or other compensation. What is this? This is an attempt to interfere with my free speech rights and soil my reputation. This is outrageous. Again, probably AI. As mentioned on page 49, the hearing officer came to the conclusion that the complainant's supplemental claims have no merit. I believe this whole grievance has been a complete waste of time, UISD resources, and with all due respect, an unnecessary waste of council's time, costing the district unnecessary expense. I would like to conclude my remarks with 2 quotes about free speech. One by the late Charlie Kirk, who gave his life, was murdered for First Amendment rights. And he said, and I quote, "Free speech is not just saying what you want to say, but it is having to hear things you don't want to hear." The second quote is from a fictional character, Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek: The Next Generation. But he said, "The first speech censored, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, changes us all irrevocably." I respectfully ask that the board uphold the level 2 decisions. Thank you.
And Mr. Morales still has about 9.5 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board. I'm here again to present the district's administrative response in the second grievance. Mr. Vasquez alleged that the community member, Mr. David Perez, used public comments for retaliatory, defamatory, and politically charged remarks, and that Dr. Cruz failed to intervene or enforce board policy BED local. He further argued the district lacked jurisdiction to resolve the complaints locally and demanded referral to outside agencies. I'd like to reiterate that the district has full authority under Board Policy GF Local to receive, hear, and resolve public grievances. While state agencies may investigate matters under their own jurisdiction, nothing in the law removes the district's authority or requires referral of this local grievance to any other agencies. With respect to Superintendent Cruz, enforcement of decorum and meeting management during public comments primarily rests with the presiding officer of the board and/or the legal counsel. To be fair, the superintendent is participating in the meeting, and like all other participants, he can intervene in instances of severe disruption or to address an imminent health or safety threat. But here, Dr. Cruz's decision to allow the presiding officer to manage the public comment was consistent with both law and practice. Regardless, even assuming for the sake of argument that Dr. Cruz was the primary enforcer of decorum at the meeting, Mr. Perez's comments were nowhere near the level of insulting, profane, threatening, abusive, or disruptive that would warrant intervention from anyone. In fact, with respect to Mr. Perez, the record reflects that he spoke during the public comment portion as a citizen, parent, taxpayer, not as a representative of the district. His brief remarks did not violate policy BED local and did not amount to electioneering, personal attack, or disruption. At level 2, Mr. Vasquez, he sought numerous remedies. For the purpose of this presentation, I will only speak of a few key determinations by the hearing officer. First, there was no violation by Dr. Cruz or Mr. Perez of board policy BED local. The district does retain full jurisdiction to resolve this grievance locally. The superintendent had no duty to interrupt the public comment or silence the speaker. And 2 assurances were granted in the level 2 just to reaffirm that anti-retaliation protections are already existing in board policy. Now, Mr. Vasquez has submitted a level 3 rebuttal that repeats similar arguments and includes additional claims about bias and due process. I will respond to those. First, he alleged a lack of neutrality because the level 2 hearing officer was a subordinate of the superintendent. This conclusionary allegation ignores the fact that board policy GF local expressly authorizes the superintendent to designate a designee to hear public complaints. Mr. Mike Garza was therefore properly assigned under policy, and there was no indication that he had any bias or lacked neutrality. Second, Mr. Vasquez argued that the district cannot investigate itself. This argument misstates both policy and practice because every school district in Texas, not just UISD, is required by law to process grievances locally. This grievance process is not a self-investigation, it is a structured administrative review, and it ensures that a written record, an opportunity to be heard, and an opportunity to appeal the board are made. The district has followed this process faithfully, and that's why we're here tonight for the level 3 grievance. Third, Mr. Vasquez claimed that the district misstated its authority under board policy GF local. The district did not, because policy expressly governs that complaints by members of the public are to be heard under policy GF local, and it authorizes a local resolution of those complaints. So while the TEA and SPEC may investigate in other contexts, the law does not transform every grievance, disagreement, or board meeting comment into a state enforcement matter just because the grievant requested it. Nothing in the grievance created any legal duty to refer this matter to an outside agency. Fourth, Mr. Vasquez alleged a breach of duty by the superintendent for not interrupting public comment. This argument is misplaced because expecting the superintendent to override the board president or police every single speaker would likely violate the same standards of meeting decorum that Mr. Vasquez invokes himself, as well as any other community member that uses public comment. Finally, Mr. Vasquez claims a due process violation because his grievances were consolidated and because many of the remedies were denied. Consolidation under board policy GF local was proper because it allows complaints of similar nature to be heard together for efficiency and consistency. Mr. Vasquez has likely misunderstood the meaning of due process, which can be a confusing term. In actuality, he was afforded the same opportunity to present his case as any other grievant has or would, and the written response responded to every single one of his requested remedies. The fact that most of his remedies were denied simply reflects that evidence and policy did not support his claims, but it is not a lack of process. Moreover, Mr. Vasquez was not clearly denied any life, liberty, or property by the consolidation of his grievances. The very fact that we're here today with the opportunity to present this grievance to you, the Board of Trustees, is further proof that he has not been denied any due process. In sum, the Level 2 decision was lawful, impartial, and grounded in policy. The district acted within its authority, it applied BED local correctly, and addressed all the issues raised. There was no evidence of bias or retaliation or any deprivation of Mr. Vasquez's rights. For these reasons, the administration respectfully recommends that the board upholds the Level 2 written response in its entirety and denies the requested remedies, with the understanding that existing policy-based assurances remain in effect. Thank you for your attention.
All right, any questions for either of the parties? Ms. Martinez, I think you have some questions.
Yes, I had one question. So, Mr. Vasquez, let's just say, let's suppose, right? If the board, right, would have stopped or would have said, you know, out of order while Mr. Bettis was giving his public comment, would have that changed anything for you?
Of course.
Okay. But again, right, as a board, we always do allow people to give their 3-minute
Yeah,
public
on many
comments.
occasions, I wish I could have yelled out of order, but out of respect for people's freedom of speech and transparency, we let him proceed. Because it doesn't have to be, you know, you say here, not related to agenda item. You yourself in the beginning of this grievance read, he could come here and talk about the carnival if he wanted to. It doesn't have to be related to the agenda item. So you're correct.
Any other questions?
I have a question for Mr. Bettis, right? Mr. Bettis, I've seen you at many meetings,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And I haven't seen you recently, right?
I've been there.
Oh, I haven't seen you. But what was the reason for giving your public comment? I know.
Just the issue of First Amendment rights being cut off, but looking at the history of UISD, a lot of people have been able to express their First Amendment rights. And I encourage that. I'm not here to chill anybody's rights, to silence anybody. In fact, I encourage it, quite the contrary to what was being claimed against me. I'm not here to stifle anybody, okay? And I've seen meetings, you know, Mr. Montemayor, this, you know, and Ms. Molina and whatever, and you sit there and take it. But again, nowhere did I say anybody's name, any particular organization. Okay? But it's my First Amendment right. Like you said, I could have talked about the weather if I wanted to. I mean, it's broad, but First Amendment rights and speaking, you know.
Well, I think he says, David, that you waved at him.
I'm sorry?
He says that you waved at him. And
Way
so.
back, you know, so.
Well, I think, you did mention it, but I think Mr. Vasquez, in filing his grievance, pretty much
He said, because
injected
there are the
himself
cameras.
into this,
Hi.
into this issue.
So,
No.
But
Mr.
again,
Bettis, I'm sorry.
even if he did, he
Yeah.
could talk about whatever he wants,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So, okay, so Mr. Pettis, I've never met you. I just want to affirm something because I'm having a very difficult time with this grievance, the way it's presented.
Mhm.
Just to confirm, did you mention specifically a person's name or any organization's name at any point?
No, like I told you in my remarks, I challenge you to hear, you know, that I said Juan Martinez, Aggies United or whatever. I never said anything like that.
Okay,
No,
thank you,
never.
Mr. Perez.
I have
I
a
don't-
question for council. If he had mentioned a name, is that something we would have had to have intervened? Because it's an open, it's an open forum for comments. 3
In my
minutes.
opinion, my legal opinion, no, I don't believe so, unless, again, his comments rose to the level of profane, threatening, abusive, or disruptive conduct. In my experience, many people's names are mentioned during
But I don't
public
want to talk,
comment. In
I
fact,
don't
it's
want to
pretty
open up a
common.
Pandora's box, and we can just get in there and people just start talking about, hey, you know, city and county government,
Right.
and things are just unrelated, completely unrelated to the district business. Not, I think the purpose of that change was not necessarily did they have to be on the agenda as an item, but certainly, you know, we'd like to, the public comments should be tailored to discuss some district business or district event or, you know, something going on within the UISD, you know, world.
Maybe we need to
You
revisit
can
the
revisit,
policy.
the policy,
And-
it's a local policy, so it's subject to revision at any time upon the wishes of the board.
I have a question. Mr. Perez, but your comment was, I guess, in defense per se of UISD operations, right?
Yes, First Amendment at board meetings, you know, I mean, First Amendment in general, but I did mention, you know, I've been to many board meetings, and I've seen many people speak about a variety of issues. So I did tie it, it wasn't like I'm talking about the weather. You know, the weather has nothing to do with UISD. I could talk about it technically right now, but.
Unless it's a football game or something that
Yeah,
doesn't affect.
Yeah, but my thing was about First Amendment rights and making sure that people's rights are not chilled and encouraging people to come to the board meetings and speak. Whether it's something, like I said, from Charlie Kirk, maybe something you don't want to hear. That's,
But it did stem from being blocked from the.
I'm sorry?
Did it stem from being blocked from the Parents
you
United
have to
page?
read my statement. Okay, you have to read my statement, and it's in there, but I am not naming any specific person or any specific group.
Okay.
I-
I just have one last question, Mr. Vasquez. You know, I want to be fair, regardless if it's you, not you, anyone who would be sitting here. Is there something that we're missing here? Because it's clear, the reality is that you were not mentioned, your organization was not mentioned, you're basing this grievance off of a feeling and assumption. Is there anything else, that just to wrap this up, that you want to add, that
What I'm saying, he said it was 26 years, he represented himself as a district, employee of the district, he spoke, everybody knows Parents United, he gave enough description to Pat Myers and to Ismael Rincon, exactly, I say, he didn't mention any name, but he was very targeting, and he didn't went like this. I'm gonna put the video today, he turns around and goes like this to me. You know he was talking about me, I was the only one back over there. You see me all the time by myself. So who back over there, he's waving at me. I'm not being like thinking.
and there was no one else sitting in that area?
No,
no one
I don't
else?
remember. It was somebody else there with that day, but I know it was me.
Well,
And
it
then
was-
he makes a remark, but he doesn't remember. It's fine, because I know I don't want to insult him, but I put later on today the video so he can see it again, and make comments on it so he can see what's actually what happened. He identified himself as a 26-year employee UID and went and around attacking.
And so
That's it.
I'll just say this as my last comment, from what I'm getting, right?
Yes.
I think this is stemming from a feeling, right? That you're hurt, or maybe you're upset at the fact that you're a border patrol and you received letters to your employment. However, he is an employee of UISD and he didn't receive a warning. I think that's
Exactly.
your
Yeah.
issue here, right?
And
Okay.
everybody witnessed it.
Okay, so I have a question for Superintendent. Dr. Cruz, you sent those 2 letters to his employer?
I recall sending one letter.
One letter, I think one was done by the previous to you. If that had been, if Mr. Vasquez had been an employee of HEB, or, and I don't want to say, maybe I shouldn't have said a name, a store or something that's non-federal, would you have sent that letter?
No.
No, you sent it because he's he was a federal employee.
Federal
Who
employee,
abides
law
by a code of
enforcement,
conduct.
yes, who
Right,
should conduct themselves in a professional capacity with decorum.
right. That's that was why his employer got that letter.
Correct.
Okay, so UISD is not federal. It's not a federal, it's not, we're local government. We're not, no, that's Webb County. We're just a school district. We're not a federal entity. We don't have that code of conduct that you had, sir, as an officer
Let's go.
representing the federal government.
Okay, let me deliberate. We're gonna go to closed session. The time is currently 6:31 in accordance with the Texas Government Code, section 551.071. The board will discuss items 5A. No action will be taken in closed session. So do y'all want to do it here, or do y'all want everybody to get out, or we want to go back there?
We
It's up
can,
to you guys.
We'll go over here, we'll go over
Sure.
here.
Okay, agenda item number 6, open session. The board has reconvened from closed session. We are now in open session. The time is 6:50. For the record, no action was taken in closed session. Agenda item 6A, possible action regarding Victor Vasquez's June 2nd, 2025 board policy, GF local level 3 appeal.
Yes, members of the board, the recommendation regarding that item is to uphold the level 2 decision in its entirety.
All right. Is there a motion?
Motion?
second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Agenda item 6B, possible action regarding Victor Vasquez's September 2nd, 2025 board policy, GF local consolidated level 3 appeal.
Yes, members of the board, for that item, the recommendation is to uphold the level 2 decision in its entirety.
All right, is there a motion?
Motion?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Agenda item 7, adjournment. We are now adjourned.
Motion for adjournment.
Second.